So we're gonna do some stuff from CPAC if I can find like a couple things because it's a travesty. It's amazing. It's a waste of time, and they know it. And DeSantis can't even show up because if he starts stealing audience from Trump, they'll just go straight for the jugular. I can say it, the juggler. Do not attack the jugglers, right? For the jugular, and ultimately, the problem with that is twofold. One, if this dude attacks DeSantis and it works, there's a huge chunk of Republicans that are just going to sit out the election because fuck Trump and blah, 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 and they're just going to be mad. And if it doesn't work, he's going to look like a toothless psychopath, and then the other half will sit it out. I'm just telling you, you can't go wrong. There is no downside to this fuckery that's going on. But in the meantime, we have these little post-its that he's doing, these little Agenda47, which I think I just fucking, do you know how precious this is? This is so somebody like wearing the assistant manager badge at McDonald's before you've actually got the job. You know what I mean? Like, it's like he's like the assistant to the director of assistance to the vice president, who gets one of those like nameplates for his desk that says CEO. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it reeks of that. This Agenda47, because it's never going to happen. It's not going to happen. Trump's not going to be president again. It's not going to fucking happen. It is not. It's going to be like just embarrassingly shitty and stupid, and it's not gonna happen. And it's great that he's already wearing the hat. I'm the captain now. That's where he is. All right, so here we go. Good Lord. All right, let's see what this one is, because these are blissfully short, nearly almost as short as they are stupid. Here we go. Reversing Biden's.
But
hold on.
Joe Biden recently signed a very...
Okay, this is reversing Biden's executive order embedding Marxism in the federal government. Do tell.
Sinister executive order mandating that almost every federal department and agency establish a Marxist equity. This is something new.
Establishing a Marxist equity. This is something new. I don't know what this is. They put it in the little teleprompter. At least I'm not reading. Marxist equity. Okay, here we go. Because he thinks diversity is a problem. It's all going to be affirmative action hires. There's going to be lots of people who aren't orange in positions of power, which is wrong.
Enforcement squad to implement.
And there's an enforcement squad. Wait. Hold on. I was expecting, diversity, equity, and inclusion guidelines, but a squad. Shit.
Mandating that almost every federal department and agency establish a Marxist equity. This is something new. Enforcement squad to implement a woke takeover of the entire federal government.
Oh no. Oh God. Not a woke takeover in the middle of Grandpa's nap.
Every institution in America is under attack from this Marxist concept of equity.
Oh no. Ew. We thought we'd gotten rid of equality. Now we have to deal with equity as well. By the way, if you're thinking, Jesus Christ, every time the Democrats try to come up with a word that mitigates the fact that the last word they were using got turned into a bad word, like liberal to progressive or equality to equity, they try to weaponize it again, and by accident make the old word fine again. But you're right.
Instead of treating everyone equally, making
which obviously There's not an A in it. That's the part that makes me suspicious.
Decisions based on merit or qualifications. Equity means that benefits are awarded and policies are enforced based on skin color and sexual identity.
Yeah, that's right. If you're not a black, gay, partly Mexican, Asian, pansexual, don't even apply. You're not going to get the job. We don't want qualifications. We just want black people. Like, that's what he's saying. Fuck you. This is so stupid.
We don't think that's a good idea.
No kidding. Nobody does, by the way. Nobody thinks. Like, look, let me just say, to be clear, first of all, I am against Marxism because I think it is a dead ideology based on half-assed principles that even its founder didn't believe in. And we've talked before about the idea that Marx's idea of communism could only be built on the back of capitalism. Like, you build the factories and we'll just take them over, which is a shitty way of. That's not a philosophy. That's a suckerfish that thinks it's the whale. That's a tick that thinks it's the dog. You know what I mean? It's just stupid. But on top of that, I do think, for the record, that it is wrong to hire a completely unqualified person just because you prefer their skin color. For example, there are a bunch of people who voted for this dickhead because they like this shade of orange. I think that was wrong. I think you shouldn't put an unqualified second-generation rich kid asshole in charge of something just because, phew, at least he's white.
It's a catch-all term used by the radical left to justify every one of its crazy programs.
Hold on. Oh, woke is. I'm sorry. Woke is our catch-all term, not the right-wing catch-all term for anything that includes anybody except them.
Climate change is now about fighting environmental racism.
Yes, the sky, it's trying to tan us all.
They falsely accuse law enforcement of racism to explain why they must end cash bail instead of busting up bloodthirsty gangs that kill.
Yeah, that kill people. That's right, because this is just a racist way of getting back. They blame racist cops who may themselves be black or Asian or Hispanic or even white, God forbid, and that's why they want to end cash bail, which has nothing to do with the actual material policing. I don't know if you know this. Cops don't have a say in whether or not they don't have a say at your bond hearing. I don't know if you're aware of that. It's not related. And by the way, don't take too much of this seriously. This is jibber jabber, but it's fun.
All over our cities.
Ew.
With his inaction, Biden is weaponizing every tool of government power to push this racism and this communism and Marxism, or whatever you want to call it.
I want to call it trifecta supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, but I just don't have the time. Whatever you want to call it, you got it. I guess we just call it woke, right? Didn't you just say that? Just woke. Just call it woke. You said it's a 4-letter word, like MAGA. Just use that. Also, his inaction.
Cash bail instead of busting up bloodthirsty gangs.
Yes, by the way, part of Biden's executive order was stop busting up bloodthirsty gangs. It's okay to if they're slightly parched for blood. That's different. It's a matter of degrees.
That kill people all over our cities.
Well, obviously not all over. I mean, there's definitely neighborhoods you have to, be concerned about, but,
With his inaction, Biden is weaponizing.
His inaction. Wouldn't it be because of this action? Right? Because he signed an executive order that supposedly inserted Marxism into the criminal code or whatever the fuck he's talking about. He doesn't cite which one. So technically speaking, any executive order that promotes diversity is going to be seen as, like forced, that forces inclusion, even when it's bad for the country.
Recognizing every tool of government power to push this racism and this communism and Marxism, or whatever you want to call it.
Race of Marx of communism. Race of Marx of communism. Let's just run them all together.
When FEMA, the EPA, and the FAA and IRS are corrupted and tasked with enforcing equity, freedom, and
planes will fall out of the sky and tax you on the way down while spraying toxic race-positive chemicals in your face and giving you cancer as the race plane. Look, I know you're a completely qualified pilot, but we have a gay Hispanic guy over here who identifies as a non-binary fairy person, an elf kind, and we're just going to give him the job because that's how things work now in Grandpa's imagination.
equality under the law are absolutely dead.
Equality under the law is absolutely dead. I don't know. Murdoch just got, that Murdoch guy got convicted.
I will revoke.
Maybe that's what it was. OJ gets off, but this guy goes down, motherfucker.
This executive order on my first day back in office. I will look forward to it.
Yes, you'll look forward to it forever.
Oval Office is a wonderful place, but also a wonderful place to stop things that are very bad for our country.
It's a wonderful place to sop things. As the man in the restaurant said, "Waiter, get me some white bread so I can sop this gravy." And the waitress, of course, shouted back, "Where do you think you are? The White House?" Run that by me again.
Back in office. I will look forward to it. The Oval Office is a wonderful place.
It is,
but also
lovely.
A wonderful place to stop things that are
it's a wonderful place to stop things
very bad for our country from happening. I will
What? Yeah, you mean like a pandemic? Oh, sorry about that. Bam, that didn't happen. Oh, you mean like fentanyl coming across the? Ouch! Yeah, you could have stopped that as well. I suppose. All right.
instruct the Department of Justice to make clear that any such discrimination is completely and totally illegal, and to investigate the unlawful domination and discrimination and civil
Domination and discrimination? Yummy.
right abuses carried out
Equal rights abuses?
by the Biden administration. I will immediately terminate all staffers hired to implement this policy and eliminate all offices and initiatives connected to it.
Yes. So basically, I'm just going to walk in. Anybody black, out. Are you gay? No. You gay? You sure? Are you gay? Out. I don't even work there. Doesn't matter. You're considered inclusive. Beat it.
We will not allow it to happen.
It's already happening, I guess, or not at all. It is either. And again, can I just say, this is supposedly something that's going to destroy the entire country. It's an executive order, which can be undone by the next president. If it destroys the country, wouldn't it seem like it would benefit you in an election coming up? Secondly, if it has to be gotten rid of immediately or the country will be destroyed, too late. You're not going to be president for, ever, but for at least a couple of years, no matter who runs. Still not going to do anything. So obviously, basically, you're just Chicken Little at this point.
Create a
Chicken big.
special team to rapidly review every action taken by federal agencies under Biden.
Wait a minute. Wow, the true words of a political outsider. He's going to form a committee that will look into things to stop it. if it happened, and if it didn't, all right.
Biden's equity agenda that will need to be reversed. We will reverse almost all of them.
All right. Well, I'm glad you'll leave a couple. I guess you can't get all of it because some of it will just sneak through. You might, it might surprise you that some of the folks are actually qualified. We're going to wipe out almost all of this terrible, terrible, terrible thing that's destroying our country. You know all those things that are destroying our country? I'm going to get rid of most of them.
Maybe, in fact, all of them.
Well, maybe, I mean, like, set a low bar, though. I mean, obviously, you built the wall and it made the border worse. So I don't have a lot of faith in your solutions to start with.
I will also urge Congress to create a restitution fund.
Oh, my God, to give back jobs to white people who were denied a job because of the illusion of equality. What the shit?
For Americans who have been unjustly discriminated against by these equity policies, and I will restore merit-based federal civil service. I will get this extremism.
Yes, he will go back to hiring the truly qualified and decent human beings that he had in his cabinet. People who've earned the right to actually make decisions on behalf of all Americans, like Jared Kushner, who was an agent of a foreign government while not technically being employed by the White House, but basically chewed his ear all the time. Yeah.
Out of the White House, out of the military, out of the Justice Department.
And out of your mind.
And out of our government. We don't want it in our country, the United States of America.
Oh, that's the country. See, I always get confused because he very seldom names the actual country he's talking about.
We'll be strong again. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. By the way, this is I suppose this video makes certain people feel better. But let's be honest. It's like a guy making chalk marks on a prison wall. It doesn't really affect the passage of time. It lets him know a day has passed, but it has zero effect on the outside world. Does that make sense? By the way, you're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide, and I think that shows taste and breeding on your part, if I do say so my damn self.